These tears never gonna dry when I lose you. Some hearts double inside.
Baby, Monday Evening Football Daily Show coming at you live. It is currently Thursday in our time zone. Maybe it's not Thursday in yours, wherever you're watching, but pretty excited to be here.
It's a good point you made there.
Yeah, I mean,
we might be global really at this point. And at the end of the
you
day,
never know.
I mean, eventually, even if we're not right now, I like to think eventually. I like to think eventually.
And then once we're global, Nick,
Mhm.
the next step.
What's the next
Universal.
step?
Obviously.
Oh yeah, yep.
Yep.
Planetary, so to speak.
Interplanetary.
That's it.
Yep,
that's it.
We're gonna be the first live stream that is interplanetary. That's gonna be our goal. That's gonna be our claim to fame. And you know what? I think NASA could help us out with that. We just launch a computer with a router and a generator. Let's put one of those on Mars.
See?
So that way, if there is any life form there, they're watching us, which is only good for the planet because we're obviously spewing good stuff. They're learning about football, which is like, the best thing on planet Earth, essentially.
Yeah.
And so I mean, it's a win-win. So NASA, if you're seeing this, give us a holler. Let's make some magic happen. But speaking of magic, Nick.
Yes.
Speaking of magic, did you see Jalen Hurts became an elite quarterback over the summer?
Oh, he elite in his swag. I noticed.
Yeah, that dude is dripping swag.
I think I saw. What was the title? Hold on. What was the title of that article? Because that was
Jalen Hurts is simply Jalen Hurts is simply way too cool not to be an elite quarterback.
That's amazing.
And I'll say this, Nick. Does Jalen Hurts still have his hooping ear then?
Dude, they had my man. He had the crazy sunglasses on. Dude, what a guy. What a guy.
What we are talking about here, folks, if you haven't seen the video of Jalen Hurts doing some workouts, but it's essentially sunglasses on.
Yep.
He's got a hoop earring in like Michael Jordan-esque. This dude's coming ready to ball for the Philadelphia Eagles. He's seen all the slander that everyone's been throwing the Eagles' way. He said, not on my watch, okay? Not on my watch. If I have to become the most swagged out quarterback, then hell, do that. Essentially is what he was saying in that video. Has a lot of a lot of swagger. We see a lot of other quarterbacks. Baker Mayfield has swagger to him.
Oh yeah.
They are on another level of being a quarterback is because of their
Oh yeah.
and I'm rooting for him coming when the season comes around. Now there's a lot of things in Philadelphia that have to get figured out.
Oh yeah.
Before the season starts, when the season's going. But I don't think any of those concerns center around Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I think when you hear Philadelphia Eagles fans saying things like "these guys stink," I think they're referring to the other guys that are not Jalen Hurts, because Jalen Hurts is awesome. Like, I think all of those Alabama quarterbacks are fun. I think Tua, you gotta love, like, you got Jalen Hurts. Now you've got oh, why am I blanking? The kid the Patriots just drafted, Macaroni Jones. Come on now, Macaroni Jones. My man's in the league. Like, all those guys they're just fun, man. I like them all. I think they're awesome. Jalen Hurts, interestingly enough, Scott, I don't know if you've ever heard this before, but I remember when Jalen Hurts was going to Alabama. I remember reading a story. I just pulled up a similar type of story here. That, you know how, like, a lot of high school football players.
Bro, I cannot hear you. You think your headphones might be dying? I don't know if that's a battery-operated system you got over there in your ears. Can you hear me? I can't hear you, unfortunately. And I wish I was like that great of a lip reader that I could just read your lips here and then no one would ever know, and then our tech guys could get it figured out. But, you know, unfortunately, they're on vacation this week with a lot of other people. Pat McAfee, you know, we're really carrying the weight for the YouTube show over here on, you know, on, what can I say? We have big shoes to fill, and I think we're stepping up in a big way. And I think, Nick, maybe I got you back there. I might have got you back. Hello? Testing 1 2.
There we go.
Testing
All
1
right,
2.
you got me.
Hey, boom.
All right.
Beautiful.
Fix that.
But as you were saying, sorry.
So some kids in high school, you know, football players, they might play on the basketball team, right? Yep. They always like to hoop. They might do that. Some of them like to be on the track team. Gives them a chance to work on their speed and things like that in the offseason. Jalen Hurts, when he was in high school, decided that he instead would focus on powerlifting. And Jalen Hurts himself is a man who, when he was at the University of Alabama, make sure I get the number right, had a 585-pound squat.
Wow.
He also apparently had a deadlift at 565 pounds, and it looks like he did that one when he was in high school. So wow. This is a guy that I think is a special type of athlete, and he's still so young in his career. I think this is the type of guy that is just going to get better every year, and he's just going to slowly continue to improve, and the more reps he gets, the better. I could see Jalen Hurts having a bit of a breakout year with the Eagles this year. Absolutely.
Okay. Nick, let me ask you this. You know, that's some pretty impressive numbers. You know, I couldn't even come close to that. I don't think I can combine the 3 power lifts together. I probably could combine the 3 power lifts. I gotta give myself a little more credit than that.
Yeah, I think you
could. to get that 580. But do you think that potentially sets him up to be the most gifted physically at the quarterback position in the next couple years? Because I saw an article come out from our people over at Fox Sports that said Josh Allen right now is a person that they see as the most physically gifted quarterback in the NFL. And it got me thinking a little bit about, well, one, what is your criteria for physically gifted quarterback, you know?
Yeah, right.
Because right there, you know, two different people could be going off of different criteria on what makes a gifted quarterback. You know, is it speed? Is it arm strength? Is it you know, escapability in the pocket, things like that? Like what are the criteria for that? But that being said, now Josh Allen is a very gifted quarterback at 6'5", 240 pounds, who can move very well. You know, doesn't have tremendously amazing speed, but good enough speed, and an arm strength that is pretty solid and can make some damn good throws. So, you know, I'm not going to give Fox Sports too hard of a time here on this one, because I do think Josh Allen, when you come to physically giftedness, now is he going to be the best quarterback in the NFL? Probably not.
Right.
You know, but he has the tools to make him one of the best in the NFL, which is exciting to see.
Oh, no doubt. I think he's up there for sure. Josh Allen's definitely up there. I don't take as much offense with this article as some of the more recent Fox Sports ones. But I do think, like, if we are going to try to be objective, I think Josh Allen is a more notable player. But if we're just saying physically gifted quarterbacks, we just mentioned Jalen Hurts, who's very physically gifted. We also, to be honest, think about a Lamar Jackson, for example. Now, while Lamar Jackson doesn't necessarily have the size and the arm strength, his quickness and his top-end speed are ridiculous for that position. We're simply just talking quarterbacks. He's up there. And another guy who I'm actually a little frustrated that that they won't give more credit to. I understand he's been in the NFL longer, and I understand he's been injured. But if you're telling me Cam Newton isn't one of the most physically gifted quarterbacks in the NFL, you're crazy. Cam Newton's probably the starter day one for the Patriots this year. He's a starting quarterback in the NFL. And if you remember when Cam Newton came into the NFL, he was the most physically gifted quarterback we'd ever seen, like ever, forever. Like he's huge, huge arm, can run, can move a little bit. He was willing to go in there. Remember, like young Cam Newton who would just bang. He would just get like that dude is incredibly physically gifted. So I think if you're looking at it, that's realistically part of it. Then you've got those guys like Kyler Murray and Patrick Mahomes who have a little bit of a baseball past, right? And it's kind of like, where does that fall into things, right? Kyler Murray is not a very big guy, but that dude is incredibly athletic. And so, I don't know. I think it's cool. It's cool to see. You know what I think that the fact that we even have an article like that and a discussion like this points to? I do think it points to the fact that the NFL overall is getting more athletic, and young athletes are not pigeonholed into playing receiver or running back, it feels like, as much anymore as maybe they used to be in the past.
Yeah, I do agree with that. And I do think it is a situation where you're seeing the NFL just get more athletic because obviously it's getting more competitive, and you're just going to see more physically gifted quarterbacks come out. You could probably make a case for Trevor Lawrence, and we haven't even seen him play in the NFL yet. But when you look at the physical attributes that he has, you would look and be like, yeah, I would put him in the same category as Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Now, is that necessarily going to transfer over to winning football games? We'll have to wait and see. But I think, but I like how you threw Cam Newton in there because people do forget Cam Newton's had a couple of off years the past couple years, but before that, he would be diving in just to get a touchdown, just to come up and do a Superman celebration against three defensive backs that are crashing in on him at the goal line trying to stop him.
Yep.
So there is some, there's so many different ways to kind of slice that, but I think to your point, Nick, you're just seeing the quarterback all across the quarterbacks in the NFL all across the board just getting more athletic and seemingly be more physically gifted. But I will say, switching gears to another quarterback who's had a similar down past year like Cam Newton.
Interesting.
And is now playing for Cam Newton's former team. Talking about Sam Darnold, and hey, they're the Panthers teammates they're getting a little hyped for Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold, he had a down year last year. I saw they were actually talking about it on the Pat McAfee show about, they were wondering, actually Boston Connor said that if he could win comeback player of the year, to which I think Pat was like, but he wasn't injured or out last year. And it's like, well, no, but he did have such a bad year. Like maybe he could win it, which is like, I tell you what, that would be an amazing thing if that happened. I don't think that's going to be the case, but I am excited to see Sam Darnold get a fresh start in, Carolina, and really see what he can do with that team, and if he could really revitalize his career down there and make some things happen. But I think Sam Darnold down in with the Panthers, I think we're going to see some good stuff from that.
Yeah, no doubt. I always thought Sam Darnold was a good quarterback. I just think it sucks when you get thrown into a situation like the Jets had. It's like he actually, I think, is kind of lucky.
And Adam Gase.
Yeah, for sure. He's lucky to be able to get out of there so early in his career and now have an opportunity right away with another team. And it just makes you wonder if some quarterbacks in the past had similar opportunities, right? Like David Carr comes to mind. It's like he gets thrown into this expansion team with the Texans, and it's like you just never really got to see. It's like it's hard to know what he could have been. So cool for Sam Darnold to be in that position. I think I not exactly on that topic, but I do think as far as comeback player of the year goes, if I had to guess, I think the NFL is waking up every morning and praying that they get the chance to give Dak Prescott comeback player of the year. To have the Dallas Cowboys quarterback win comeback player of the year is a dream that the NFL, I'm sure, wants to see realized. this season. So
Yeah.
I think if Dak Prescott even has a remotely like decent season, they're probably just gonna
8-9 games. Yeah,
probably just gonna go ahead and hand it to him. I think OBJ would be awesome if he won comeback player of the year because he got hurt last year. But yeah, I think the NFL will gladly give Dak Prescott that award for basically just showing up and being out there with a pulse and some cleats. I think like as long as he can do that, they're gonna be like, here you go, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Could you imagine if that happened? Because Jerry Jones, he would be, oh my God. You would probably see Jerry Jones do a backflip if that happened. I feel like at his age right now.
Jerry Jones might lobby the people for it. Can you imagine being a voter, like a media voter? You get a phone call about 11 p.m. Jerry Jones has had a couple bourbons, and he's just calling you like, it's like week 12, week 13, and you just lobbying for Dak. Oh, incredible.
Yeah, that would be pretty amazing. And I wouldn't put past Jerry Jones to do something like
absolutely.
that. He is, for as much like crap as Jerry Jones gets, I do feel to like a certain extent, like he does have because it helps the brand of the Dallas Cowboys.
Yes.
That he would push that to the media voters to get that to go through for a guy like Dak Prescott. And then he would hold it over Dak Prescott's head and be like, "Yeah, see, I helped you get this."
Yes,
like we know you had a mediocre season this year, Dak. But look, your comeback player of the year.
That's the thing. Like
I could see that
for sure. I think as a Packers fan, I don't think either of us likes Jerry Jones. But the older I get, I do appreciate him more. I definitely do respect what he brings to the table more than I used to.
Yes, and I think that shows a lot of growth and maturity.
There we go.
On us, Nick.
Absolutely.
That's it. It's always a good thing. And other things we want to see the NFL have some growth and maturity in as well is when it comes to these discrimination situations, because I did see that Eugene Chung, the NFL did do the investigation into that situation that he had, where he was called not the right minority,
right,
and. They couldn't confirm the discrimination allegations, which who knows how much of an investigation they did.
Right.
Now it's the NFL, and they have been historically known for not handling these situations the best first time around,
Right.
So it will, I hope just by Eugene Chung coming out and talking about this, I hope it puts a spotlight for further incidences like this to be investigated fully and people to be held accountable, because really there's you don't want to see that in any work environment, but you're the NFL. Like everyone looks to you like what's next? You're going to go back to nonprofit status. You know what I mean? It's just crazy.
It is. It's
crazy.
It is. I think unfortunately this feels like one of those situations a little bit where everybody involved is sort of just like, hey, let's just kind of move on from this. Like, if you remember Eugene Chung at the time, like he didn't want to say what team it was. He wasn't really trying to throw anyone under the bus, which I thought was admirable in one sense, because he was like, look, this is just something that happened. I feel like people should know that it happened. I feel like the league should be better than this, but it's not like it's not like directly affecting my life. I don't want anybody to like be thrown under the bus here. That was the way he wanted to handle it, right? I'm not saying like whether or not that was the way to handle it. That's the way he wanted to handle it, right? And I think the NFL's like, look, I mean, he's not really giving us a lot of information to work on if he doesn't want to say who and all that. So how are we going to prove that it happened? It probably did. But look, everybody in the league knows. So let's fucking cut it out. It seems like what their like thought is. He's kind of like, all good, and we just kind of, I think a lot of this is just in their mind is like training camp's going, everybody's like going to be back in the stands, we've done our due diligence like legally, we tried to look into it, let's just move on. I think that's the reality of what's going on here. I wish they would look into it a little more, but I do think at the end of the day, hopefully this can be a catalyst for change like Eugene Chung wanted it to be, right?
Yeah.
He's the guy that came out. Hopefully it can be a catalyst for change, and then, all good.
Yeah. And I think, Eugene Chung, like you said, Nick, throughout this whole thing, I think he just wanted to bring awareness to it. Like, hey, this does happen in the NFL. It's something that, as the NFL and a leader, in culture, business, things like that, you should probably look into this. But I also don't think Eugene Chung was like upset that they couldn't confirm anything through their, investigation and stuff like that. But I think he got his point across of making it known, and that is a good thing. I will say that. It is always good to have those, when you have those unfortunate events happen to you, to be able to come out and talk about it, to bring awareness, but not bury the other person.
Yep.
Or, bury the person because they know who it was if they did that. If they came out and said that, when he brought that up, they're like, they had that oh shit moment of like, oh no.
For sure.
So it's always good to hear other, people's stories when it comes to things like this. And another story that I was actually really happy to read about was Leonard Fournette, and he talked about being cut with the Jacksonville Jaguars and how that really took a toll on him all the way through last season, even after he got picked up with the Tampa Bay Bucks.
Oh wow!
He said it kind of lingered in the back of his head, and he didn't really know how to kind of get through that, but he had to do a mental reset and actually go back to start doing the things that he did before he even got to Jacksonville to kind of reset himself and refocus and relock in. And you see in the playoffs, he was very impactful for the Tampa Bay Bucks. I think he tied Mike Allstott's record for 4 touchdowns throughout the playoffs for the franchise. And then this offseason, it seems like he's getting back into shape, and he's got a real good shot of being the number 1 running back for the Tampa Bay Bucks, obviously re-signed there. So if you're a Tampa Bay Bucks fan, you got to be feeling good about the mental reset that Leonard Fournette did. But also, if you're another player in the league that isn't expecting to get cut, because you have these players that think they're going to be pillars of a franchise like a Leonard Fournette, and to see another guy get cut and then come out and talk about it, I think that's only good for other NFL players to know, like, oh, hey, I'm not alone in this. Like, other players have gone through this, and you can kind of learn from those players to, when you get to a new team, to really be impactful and make sure you're setting yourself up for the future and future contracts and things like that.
Yeah, for sure. I think cool to see him have that perspective where he did want to take the chance to reset, right, and get back to what got him there.
Yeah.
You see this a lot. I can only speak on the basketball side of things.
Yeah,
I've been, lucky enough to work with a lot of professional basketball players, and you see this from time to time. I imagine it's similar in the NFL, where you take a guy who, you're the man in high school, you're the man in college, like you're a first round draft pick, like you're at the top of the top of the top, and then everybody wants you at all those levels. Everybody wants you to be on their team at all those levels. Then you get to the NFL, and now all of a sudden everybody in that room was the best guy, right? Which was how it was in high school, but you were fine. That's how it was in college, but you were fine. Now, all of a sudden, you get to a point where, for whatever reason, maybe the business of the NFL, maybe the coaching staff or the scouting department or whatever, the team just decides to make a move in a different direction. However they make that decision is kind of unbeknownst to you. And now, for the first time in your life, you have a team who's like, we don't really want you. Sometimes that can take a toll on guys. And you always like to see the guys that take that in stride, use it as a chance for growth and development. They kind of readjust, and then they get back out there and make it happen. You like to see that whenever a guy has any type of hardship in the NFL, right? Sure. But I do think that's cool to see, because some guys just cannot handle that. They cannot handle that reality of yeah, man, sorry, I know that you've always been the man, but right now we're going to go a different direction, and it kind of their career implodes. Yeah. So cool to see him be able to bounce back. Because I like Leonard Fournette. I think Leonard Fournette's a damn good football player. I do too. And pretty cool to see him take that approach. So you got to love to see it.
Yeah. I mean, he definitely could have just came and talked to me. I would have got his head straight, because I went through the 7th grade basketball, 8th grade basketball, freshman year baseball. We just getting cut left and right. We never even making the team. So we know the pain and, the tears you probably shed. Leonard Fournette will never come out and say he probably cried a little bit when he got cut. But I have to imagine it was probably a little emotional for him.
Sure.
Hey, and that's okay, because when I got cut 7th grade, I cried. 8th grade, I cried a little bit there too. 9th grade, I got a little bit under control there. I was just tearing up a little bit, because it's emotion. You put your blood, sweat, and tears into that shit.
Course.
And then, it just, it's so we've been there. It happens.
Yes.
Some of us more than others. Some of us less gifted humans out here have probably been there more than you have been there, Leonard Fournette. But, you know, in your community of the NFL, there's probably more guys similar to you where you've never had that situation happen than similar to us.
It's true.
But
it's true.
Nick, I threw in today a little snippet of what the newsletter was about. I don't know if the fans at home saw it. I know you probably caught it when I said
I did.
it. But I will say, somewhere in here was a little Easter egg in this video of what the newsletter is about today. And to be honest, it is quite shocking that the NFL was operating like that for so long.
Yes.
Now, I'm not going to get into what the newsletter is. You're going to have to go to the link below, sign up in the Substack, and you'll get the newsletter right in your email. But I was a little taken back.
Yeah, no doubt. It's one of the more interesting newsletters that I felt like I've done, just because of the contents of it. Just a lot of a very shocking revelation, I guess, that about the way that the NFL operates as a business. That is the hint that I guess I will give you guys. But check it out. I'd really appreciate it. The link's in the description. Go, you sign up. It's free. It's not like spammy. It just literally, it sends you the newsletter once every day. That's it. It's free.
Yep.
And you can check it out on Substack. I think you can even sample it. I think you can even read one of them and then decide if you want to like give your email. So a lot of cool options there. But yeah, check it out because I thought that was nuts, man.
Yeah, it was quite crazy. Just like this life that we're living here, Nick. It's a crazy life. We're happy to be here. You know, in probably 5 years, we're going to be on Mars. Well, our stream's going to be on Mars because we still got to get with NASA. You know, I might put on a Tesla shirt tomorrow if our guy Elon maybe could get us up there. Or, you know, our other guy, Jeffrey Bezos. You know, we got a couple people out there that are, you know, experimenting with the space travel. And I think they can help us.
That's
at least.
We're just trying to catch a ride.
Or just like, you know, just get a big catapult and let's just launch that bitch into space. You know, a computer, a router, and probably like a generator to keep it running for 5. How long does it take to get to Mars?
6 months.
6 months. There you go. The more you know.
6 months.
Beautiful. Well, that's all we got today for Monday Evening Football Daily Show. Happy to bring you today's news, you know, around the NFL. I'm probably going to go watch some tennis after this.
Nice.
Oh, also, let's talk about something real quick, Nick.
Yeah.
We got fucked yesterday.
Yeah, I saw.
It all kind of fell apart. But you know what? I was very optimistic. Cubs come out, go up 7-1 in the first inning. I was like, yeah, let's go. End up losing 15-8 or something like that. And I was like, sounds tough to see.
Sounds about right.
You know what? It's a $2 bet. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. But man, that $17,000, I was already spent it. No, I'm kidding. But it's another beautiful day. Maybe we put a little $2 parlay together later.
Why not?
And yeah, I mean, why not, right?
Yeah, man.
Why not? I think people need to have that mentality more often in life why not? Why don't I go do that? Why not?
Yeah.
You know?
No doubt.
I think the world may be a better place if they thought, why not?
No doubt. I'm going to
why not me?
Going to a minor league baseball game tonight because I had that same mindset yesterday. I thought, why not? It'll be fun. Let's go check it out.
Yeah.
You know? Let's go hang out.
It'd be a great time.
Hang out, dollar Bud Lights, Thirsty Thursday. You know, it's like one of those, those minor league like promos that they do.
Yeah.
You know, where it's like, you can run on the field in the third inning. They do all that crazy shit.
Bro.
Yeah.
I'm taking 6 laps every time I'm running on the field. I don't care. They say 1 lap and you're done.
Nah.
I say, no, I'm going again.
I'm
going again. And then they have to tackle me off the field and drag me out. And I'm not allowed to back at that stadium anymore. But, you know, we just making memories out here. Making memories. That's all we're doing.
That's all it is.
But, that's all we got for you guys today.
You guys have a damn good day. Think to yourselves, why not? Find something today where you can think to yourselves, why not? And, we'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
As far as it goes from me, all I got to say is adios.
See you later, jabronis. You see that girl? You say, why not? I'm going to go talk to her. Why not?